Okay.
The demand for rationalization started from citizens. Because government kept on increasing the budget. So the burden on the citizen in terms of taxation was increasing.
Okay.
So citizens said, no, there are agencies which you keep on creating that are duplicating what other ministries are doing. So instead of burdening the taxpayer a lot, at least reduce on those agencies so that you run an efficient government. So that was a demand by citizens to government.
Okay.
It took time for government to appreciate that indeed these agencies have to be reduced, they have to be aligned. So the process was designed to have these agencies merged.
Okay.
Now, after designing a process, you have to follow through what you have designed. Initially, not all these agencies were being proposed for mergers because some are really critical to service delivery. Now, what has happened is this process of merging these agencies has not been the way it was designed to happen, because you would find that now an agency which is being merged is having a kind of replica unit in State House. So you are not achieving anything here, because you are just transferring the cost from it being recognized at agency level to now that cost coming under State House. So it doesn't save any money that government had thought it would really save. Then look at even just general public administration. You have 500 MPs and over. You have over 80 cabinet ministers. You are bound to increase electoral areas, districts, cities. You are creating that. Those are areas of spending. They are not areas of production. They are areas of spending.
But I say it is service delivery, bringing services closer to people.
Yes, you would bring services closer to the people, but also you are increasing opportunities for corruption. Because you have said, in the spirit of rationalization, we want to cut down expenditures.
Yes.
You cannot cut down expenditure in one area and triple it in another area. Cumulatively, you are doing
nothing.
Thank you.
Okay, and what? So, do you think it is an achievement? Because we are still having opposition that says there could be something attached to this, but as you noted, it was an initiative by the citizens. It was a demand by the citizens. So, is it an achievement to have these agencies merged?
It is an achievement, but if you look at the objective of rationalization, government keeps saying that we want to save over $1 trillion from rationalization of public expenditure.
Okay.
Now, you save $1 trillion, then you go and spend another, that $1 trillion you saved, and borrow even more. For example, if you increase on the current number of MPs you have, what will that mean for public administration? Then you increase on the districts. Then you have these RDCs, 2-3 trillion additional. So you have not done anything. Remember, you have a problem of public debt, which is becoming a difficult issue to manage. Then you have perennial issues on service delivery itself. So it makes rationalization yes, you have achieved because you have reduced on the agencies, but the aim of reducing on those agencies is not going to be seen because you have increased on other elements of cost.
Okay. And looking still, when we talk of creating more, there are so many units shielded under the State House or the President's office.
Yes.
What implication does this give? Because we are seeing here, we are merging, but here, just actually a few months ago, we had the Investors Protection Unit also being created. What does this mean?
The immediate implication is cost, because you have these units run under the State House budget. Then the other implication is duplication of work, and that confuses service delivery. I'll give you an example of someone who is in a local health center 3. You know in your work that I am answerable to my immediate superior within that facility, and it goes all the way up to the DHO. Then you have the other structure of State House come in. It creates confusion, and yet the aim of rationalizing is you want to have an efficient public service. And for it to be efficient,
and now when you talk of duplicating roles, isn't it because by the time they create these other agencies, these other units, these other what, I think maybe it is going to control something. Now, like if I can reference to the Investors Protection Unit, yes, we have units fighting corruption, but maybe that one was targeting only the
of having such a unit. Can't any other government structure protect an investor? You get, for example, you have Minister for Privatization, you have a Minister for Investment. All those are formal government structures. Now, even if an investor got an issue, I think that we have a formal way of registering these complaints and having them investigated and addressed. Even the police is capacitated enough to help this investor if really there is a problem. So it makes it because on one end you are preaching it, on the other end you are really going against it.
Okay. So how do you think rationalization, if well handled, will contribute to the economic development of the country?
Rationalization would make government efficient. When government is efficient, production will increase. When production increases, then that the negative effects of rationalization, which it has earmarked as important for our Vision 20 aspiration.
Okay, and now can we also look at the implications that come along, because you're going to leave so many unemployed, you're going to leave so many of this and that.
Yes, that is an interesting point there. Government is not fully staffed right now. It is not fully staffed. Government said is supposed to rely now officially on Ministry of Agriculture. Government has every government has a bureaucracy in it, so it is going to be very difficult for this extension worker to really deliver, because where the extension worker had been augmented by those agencies, it is now not there. And yet, when you look at the population, it is increasing, and the demand for social services is also increasing. So it is going to be a bit complicated for someone at the lowest level of government. But there are a lot of initiatives that government is trying to put in place. They are trying to made efficient, everything works. So those will try, but there is more on the government side. When you are rationalizing, you need to take care of the shocks that will come after the rationalization.
Okay. How can we also give departments in this case?
I don't think it will be too much work. Why? Because even when UCDA was semi-autonomous, still it was still it was under Ministry of Agriculture. So some bit of supervision was happening there. However, being a department means its needs are now going to go through the formal structure of Ministry of Agriculture. So within the Ministry of Agriculture, the question the minister and the PS should be asking themselves is, within their operational frameworks, are they able to sustain the demands of these institutions that have been brought under their care through the departments? Now you'll ask, which it has departments. Now you'll ask, which it has brought, which it used to manage within the UCDA structure, with a board of UCDA in place. Now you have dismantled that board. You are now you are loading the board within the Agriculture Ministry to look after that picture, with a board of UCDA in place. Now you have dismantled that board. You are now you are loading the board within the Agriculture Ministry to look after that department. So that it is more of an internal issue within agriculture that they need to have prepared for this. Initially, I told you the process was a bit mismanaged. There was that issue of transition for about 3 years for UCDA to go through that process of transitioning for 3 years. Now, if that is not going to happen, it means the probability of errors in the absorption of UCDA into the formal Ministry of Agriculture structure has increased. Challenges, it has had its weaknesses, but I think even with those weaknesses, there are some visible results out of the efforts of UCDA, because this entity has been there 30 years. It is very interesting that the person who appoints the board of UCDA, a Minister of Agriculture, you oversee UCDA, you get annual reports of UCDA, they are performing, to you it is satisfactory performance over time.